All right, Shalom Akim. First and foremost, I'd like to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Hakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And salutations to the brethren that are pushing out this word in truth and sincerity. All right, this is your brother Yahweh Allah from GMS Chicago coming at you again with another lesson. Now, in this video, I want to go into this picture that you see here on the screen. As you can see, it's geared. It can be an offensive picture, right? But let me give a quick disclaimer before somebody just, just wants to make a quick statement and say that, that image came up in a satirical page, as you can see here. It came out in the encyclopedia. All right, and pretty much it's like the Onion. They're making fun of of certain topics, man. But just the fact that they made this satirical article, all right, it's satire, right? Just the fact that they made it shows where the mind of these Edomites are, man. These self-proclaimed white people, man. Okay. And the fact that they used the logo of what used to be the Redskins, all right, which is pictured Native American man, and now they're putting a so-called Negro, all right, shows you that to them you're all one and the same, man. That's why they grouped you all in the term called minorities, and they view you in the same way, man. In a negative light. Using bywords with you, making them looking at you as somebody that is less to them, man. All right. So, here's the original picture that I found, but, looking into it, it is a satire. It is satire, but it goes to show that, in the back of their mind, they think of the natives and the so-called Negroes as one and the same, man. Let me read here in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 33. It says, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together." All right, and I bring this out because the children of Israel right here is talking about the northern kingdom of Israel, which was separated, and now modern times are the so-called Latinos and the Native Americans, man. And this claim is backed up by archaeology. All right, it's backed up by the biblical prophecies. All arrows point to the so-called Latinos and the Native Americans, really the natives of the Americas, which includes North, Central, and South America. The natives are the what they call the 10 lost tribes of Israel. All right, but we them with the children of Judah, which are the Jews that were written about in the New Testament of the scriptures, they were oppressed together. Okay. And if we keep reading here in verse 34, it says, "Their Redeemer is strong. The Lord of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon." Now, in ancient Babylon, for the majority, it was really just Judah, which is Benjamin, which Judah was lumped into. Oftentimes in the scriptures, Judah includes the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, and also Levi. All right, but for the most part, in ancient Babylon, all right, it was the southern kingdom that went into ancient Babylonian captivity. All right, and before the Babylonian captivity was the Assyrian captivity, which the northern kingdom, which right here is called the children of Israel. They, for the most part, they were the ones that went into that captivity. So they were separated from that point forward, from the time of the Assyrians. By the time the Babylonians came, it was already divided. So right here, for the scriptures to say that they were oppressed together, it couldn't be talking about ancient Babylon. It's talking about modern day Babylon, which is also known as the United States. All right. And here it is where we are oppressed together, man. Where we are both looked down upon. All right. Our bywords to these people are destroyed by the Edomites, man. And just the fact that they would bring this out in satire, shows what their mind is, because, the word comedy, the root word of comedy is food, like how you say in Spanish, comida. All right. And really, comedy brings that out, brings out a lot of food for thought. The a point that they want to bring across, they'll package it in a funny way. Okay, which goes to show that they still have that same hatred, the same hatred that they have for the so-called Negroes. They have also for the Native Americans, man. And the history proves that, man. Even till this day, we are still marginalized. We are still come up against. We're last hired, first fired. All right. Systematic oppression is geared towards us, man. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Which, I say Latinos to make that differentiation of tribes, but, really the Latinos, majority of them are natives of the Americas, whether that be Central, all right? Mexico is in North America. So technically you could say that there are Native Americans as well from North America. Okay? But that also includes South America as well. All right? But yeah, in the end, the Lord is gonna, take, redeem the elect from among these people from modern day Babylon, man. And Esau, Edom's hatred, is never gonna go away, man. And you see it through that picture also. So let me read here in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, and verse. In verse 5, it says, "Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end." Now, who has had a perpetual hatred against the children of Israel? Let's read up a little bit. Verse 3, it says, "And say unto it," let us start at 1. Ezekiel 35:1. "Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh." All right, and why are they going to be desolate, made desolate? Because they had a perpetual hatred for the children of Israel, which includes the northern kingdom, all right, the so-called Latinos, Native Americans, and the southern kingdom, which is the so-called Negroes, man. All right, we're oppressed here together in modern day Babylon, which is where the real Hebrew Israelites will be prophesied to be oppressed, all right, be in the last days, all right. So this is according to prophecy that we'd be here. Verse 6, "Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from him that passeth out, and him that runneth." All right, and we all know that these self-proclaimed white people have not hated blood, man. All right, they've committed genocide, upon the natives of the Americas, the so-called Negroes, and they continue throughout the whole world, man. Continuing in bloodshed and in war, man. These are the Edomites, man. And to prove that, because right here, somebody simple will say, "Oh, that's talking about Seir, it's not talking about Edom or Esau." Well, we'll prove it really quick. It's Genesis 36:1. "Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom." All right, Esau is the progenitor of the nation of Edom. All right, I'm going to jump to verse 8. It says, "Thus dwell Esau in Mount Seir." Esau is Edom. So there you go. So when it says prophesy against Mount Seir, it's saying prophesy against the Idumeans, all right, the Edomites, all right, against Esau. In Hebrews, he was rejected, For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. All right, the whole book of Obadiah prophesies the destruction, and there should be none remaining of the house of Esau. All right, Malachi 3:6 tells you that Esau is the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hate forever, man. So the Lord has a indignation towards these people, man. Okay, that touch the Lord's people. Okay, so that goes to show you that, the hatred is one and the same for you so-called Negroes and you so-called Latinos and Native Americans, man. They use the exact same logo here. All right, shows you that that hatred is interchangeable, man. It can go towards the natives. It can go towards the so-called Negroes, man. But a spiritual point on this is also that, really, like we read in Jeremiah 50:33, really, you guys, we are the same. We are the same people. So they have that same hatred towards us because why? Because we're the same people. We are all Israelites. We're the real Hebrew Israelites, man. Like I said, according to archaeology, according to prophecy, all right, according to the scriptures. Now let me read a quick scripture here in the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 13, that shows that the natives of the Americas are those 10 lost tribes. All right, as they would say. We know that it's 9 because Dan was done away with. They're not mentioned in Revelation. All right, in Revelation 7, when it roll calls the 144,000. All right, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 40. It says, "Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanassar the king of Assyria led away captive." So this was before the Babylonian captivity. We were divided, taken into separate captivities. By the time of the Assyrian captivity, we were already separated. All right, which goes to show why we look different nowadays. All right, but that's another point entirely. That's another lesson. But let me keep going here. It says, "And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took this counsel amongst themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt." All right, and that's the point, man. Who were the first ones that were dwelling here in the Americas, man? All right, it was the natives. All right, this land of the world wasn't really known worldwide. All right, because man never really dwelt here. So this is where the true story of how the natives got to the Americas, man. It says that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passage of the river, for the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Arsareth. All right, now let me let's see if I can do this really quickly. Arsareth, Jewish encyclopedia. So even the Jewish scholars tell you what they thought about Arsareth. Let's read it really quick. It says, "The name of the land beyond the great river, far away from the habitation of man, in which the 10 tribes of Israel will dwell, observing the laws of Moses until the time of restoration," which is what we read. It says, according to 4th Esdras or 2nd Esdras, in the Spanish, they'll link, or the original text, they'll link the book of Ezra and Nehemiah as the book of 1 and 2. All right. It says, according to 4th Esdras, the 13th chapter, the 45th verse. But check out this point. Columbus identified America with this land. So there you go, man. Even the Jewish scholars know that that the Northern Kingdom came to the Americas first, and they are the Northern Kingdom of Israel, man. The natives of America are the natives are the Northern Kingdom. Excuse me, I'm getting tongue tied here. But there you go. It says that there they might keep the laws which they didn't do in their own land, right? And let's see. Let's look at the things that we find of the natives now, man. You know, we find, and this is in the Kent State University Museum. You have uh, um, um, Native American garments with fringes on the bottom with borders of blue, which, if we read in the scriptures, this was an ancient Israelite custom. I'll read it really quick. This is Numbers, the 15th chapter, the 38th verse. It says, "Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a riband of blue. And this shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them, and that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye used to go a whoring." So the fringes were a symbolism of the commandments, to remember to follow the commandments, which is the spirit that they went into, that they went over here to Arsareth, to America, and that they went to a land where no man dwelt, so that they can keep their statutes, which they didn't keep in their own land. All right. So it's very spiritual. They kept the fringe and they kept the border of blue. And this isn't in a museum, like I said. All right. These are all ancient garments, man. And you would think it's just one. All right. Oh, it's a coincidence. It's just one. No, it's a consistent thing throughout the garments of the original garments of the Native Americans, man. Because nowadays they have, more. They added different things to the garments, but these are one of the first, like, basic garments that they found the people wearing. See, it was a blue border all around right here, and if you see on the sides here, you can see the blue borders. All right, this is Hebrew Israelite customs here, man. Culture. Look at the border here. They're all blue, man. You'd think it'd be a coincidence, and these are all in museums, man. It's not like the new type of garments. No, these are the old original garments. All right, and it's a repeating thing. You'll say, "Oh, it's a coincidence." No, it's not a coincidence. All right, it's a repeating custom, man. All right, here you go again. The border on the side. All right, this is a Sioux dress. All right, from 1865. All right, and also, I mentioned the archaeology, but this here in Los Lunas, New Mexico, you have the 10 Commandments written in ancient Paleo Hebrew. All right, this is in New Mexico. All right, Los Lunas. Then you have the Bat Creek Stone, which I forgot exactly. I believe it's in Tennessee, or either Tennessee or Ohio. Don't quote me on it, but they found it here in the Americas as well. And also you have the stones that were found in Guayanilla, Puerto Rico, which for a long time they had denied the validity of those stones until recent times. They actually took a further look into it, and now they are valid again, which is the same thing that they want to do with this Bat Creek stone, but they didn't even try with the Los Lunas stones. All right, because it's so clear and evident that these are the 12 commandments. Okay, the 10 commandments. All right, so there you go, man. That same hatred is given unto us, man, because we are the same people, man. The Northern Kingdom, which is the Latinos and Native Americans, and the Southern Kingdom, which is the so-called Negroes, man. All right, we are the same people. We are different tribes, all right, but of the same nation, all right. And because of that, they have this same hatred towards us, man. So, at the end of the day, they're going to get their judgment, but it's up to us, being the sons of the Most High, to get back right with Him, so we may be protected from the wiles of these devils and be delivered when the destruction comes, the judgment comes for these devils, these Edomites. All right, so with that, I pray the elect out there was edified. Like always, I want to end by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And salutations to the brethren pushing out this word in truth and in sincerity. Until the next one, brothers, I say shalom. And as always, Abar Babal.